Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson. We might have found a way to one-up everyone's favorite Uncle Sam. It's coming at a great time because the extension deadline to pay your taxes is over. Here with some tips is the sassy accountant Shantel Williams. Shantel, welcome back to Daily Flash.
Good morning, everybody. How you
We're
doing?
doing great. Tell us, what options do people have if they cannot pay their balance in full?
So if they can't pay their balance in full, they definitely need to just call IRS and request to get a tax advocate. If they request to get a tax advocate, this person will be able to pull their financials, have a conversation, create a plan that may fit their payment needs or what their revenues are currently coming inside.
What are the potential penalties or consequences for missing the tax payment deadline?
You can incur more interest, or they can actually file your taxes for you. And if they do that, then you're going to miss out on tons of tax exemptions that you possibly have access to, or deductions that you may have access to as well. And if they file your taxes, then you're stuck with paying whatever they say you owe them.
Gotcha. Explain to us the difference between filing for an extension and extending the payment deadline itself.
So if you file for an extension, it gives you an additional 6 months to actually file your taxes. Normally, you want to do this between April the 15th and October the 15th in order to get an extension. But if you want to get an extended payment deadline, this gives you more time to pay on the debt that you owe IRS. So if you haven't filed your taxes, make sure you try to get an extension. That way, the IRS knows that they don't have to do your taxes for you and you're not stuck with additional penalties. And if you need more time to pay the balance you owe, then you want to ask for an extension.
If you're paying quarterly payments and then you realize you might have to file an adjustment, when it comes to that, are you also going to be penalized if you're late to make that extra payment?
Because you're already in an agreement saying that you're going to pay a certain amount, the penalties and interest are a lot different than if you had no agreement at all or weren't making any payments. But if you do see that there's a change on being late on a payment, you definitely want to contact them. The thing that you always want to do with IRS is communicate. Even though you don't want to, communication is key with them because they keep a log of every time someone has spoken to you, what your conversation was about, and then you can defend yourself whenever something happens later on.
That's great advice. What other advice do you have for taxpayers who are struggling with long-term tax debt and can't meet their tax obligations right now?
I would say speak with an accountant, a CPA, or tax professional that specializes in tax debt because everyone is not made equal and they have specialties. So you want to speak with someone that can lead you and guide you. And then if you're uncomfortable with just finding the right person that fits your needs, call IRS, request a tax advocate, and get someone to work on your behalf.
One last question for you, Chantel. Are there specific IRS payment plans or relief programs that taxpayers can actually apply for through the irs.gov website?
There are several things that you can apply for depending on your situation. And I would refer you to speaking with a professional because every situation is different. And you could file for something thinking that's the thing that you actually need, and it's not, and it can become a waste of time. So, speaking with a professional, reaching out to someone who needs an advocate, definitely do that and always communicate with IRS.
Chantel, great advice as always. Thanks so much for joining us. For more information on tax deadlines and making those payments, you can check out the Sassy Accountant at alpfirm.com. We'll also have this interview on our website, dailyflashshow.com.